all, congratulations, we made it. So can you tell me what happened between the first time we talked and today?
What happened? You mean like how we met, or like how
These
I
last 5
decided
years,
to...
these last 5 years, yeah. These last
Oh
five
yeah.
years between the first time we talked and now. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe just to recap, how I met you. So basically, I participated in a webinar made by ESSEC, where you were
Yeah.
invited. And basically, that's how I got to know about, the MBA Center. And I remember one of your students, Alexandra. So she talked, and she got, the school she wanted it. And she got into INSEAD. And I thought that her whole career and school choices were very interesting. So that's why, I thought that, basically going with Uber for, my next chapter and for my master's was a really good idea. So basically what happened between the first time I met you and 5 years, well, basically I knew that I was, going to talk to you for counseling and things like that. So, I guess I really wanted to go fast at the beginning because I was really excited to go for my master's. But then, you told me what I should work on for, my bachelor's degree. So I tried to, participate in clubs and, improve my grades, etc. And then, yeah, basically I contacted you again, I feel, like a couple of months ago, even though we kept in contact, I feel, for 5 years. Because I told you, my different plans, where I wanted to go, etc. And yeah, I contacted you like last year, where I told you more about my career objectives and where I wanted to go. And that's when I contacted you again.
Yeah. Because if I remember well, when you contacted me to start with, you wanted to do an exchange program.
Yes.
So we work on an exchange program with China, if I'm
Yes.
right. So you decided not to do it because at the same time, what happened is that you can study with ESSEC through ESSEC. You can study at in Singapore. So maybe you thought maybe I will do that. I will have an exchange program, and I will not try to have like a double degree, whatever, and I will postpone to post bachelor. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, can you tell us, because we have, but we don't have that many. So what it is to study at ESSEC, because it's a 4-year program, and how, according to you, it helps you get your dream school? Because of course you got your dream school because we worked out, because of the application, because of the interview, but at the same time, I guess that the quality of the school is also very important. So tell us what it is to study, to do a BBA, and how, according to you, this brand is a strong brand helping you get the school that you need. Tell me.
Oh, definitely. So actually, I was really impressed with my 4.5 years at ESSEC. I think, the curriculum for the BBA is, extensive. You can do a lot of options. So for me, for example, what I chose to do is that for 2 years, I stayed on the main campus of Cergy at ESSEC because I had a lot of, associative stuff going on, because that's also another thing about ESSEC, is that you can join like fantastic associations where you can really like develop your skills, etc. So I decided to stay for 2 years in Cergy. But then after that, I did a 6-month internship in Sweden in a school known for its curriculum in sustainability and sustainable finance. So I did a 6-month internship there, exchange there, where I really, really enjoyed the classes and what I learned there. Then for my bachelor's thesis, because at ESSEC we need to do a bachelor's thesis of minimum 80 pages, if I'm correct, I chose the topic of financial inclusion in India. And so I was lucky enough to go to India for 3 months after that to, interview women. So I was in India. Then after that, I did a 6-month internship in ESG and sustainable finance. As you know, I'm really passionate about these topics. So I went to Paris. I did an internship in a major French bank. Then after that, I was able to do an exchange at the Singapore campus of ESSEC. And then I did another internship in India in microfinance, and I finished my curriculum at the Rabat campus of ISEC in Morocco. So, I was among the lucky students who were able to study at the 3 campuses. And now I'm currently doing an internship in asset management in a reinsurance company in Paris. So definitely, I would say that ISEC is a very, very strong brand. I mean, every time I went to, for example, a master's fair, a career fair, they knew ISEC and they really wanted me to know more about the different programs. Like, I remember I went to an event for masters. There were schools like Yale University or NUS, National University of Singapore, or IE. And, every time they used to tell me that they have a lot of students from ISEC, that they really love the school because of the variety of courses and also the variety of programs you can do within the school. As I mentioned, you can do many exchanges. You can do apprenticeships from 1 to 2 years. You can do internships for 6 months. And you can do mini internships for 3 months as well. And also, as I mentioned, you can join many associations. So for me, ISEC was a great way to, develop my skills and really open my horizons, especially in an international perspective. So I would definitely recommend the school and the BBA.
Yeah, and you have been pretty active because you are part of many associations. You traveled extensively. You did, I don't know, many internships. Of course, you have done very well. Alors,
Thank you.
so basically, to which programs have you finally been accepted? And I still don't know the one that you have chosen, because you told me that you had been accepted to 2, and I give you my feedback. But of course, it's only my feedback. And I think that people should follow my piece of advice when I tell them about application, because I understand the process pretty well. But after that, choosing a school, when they're pretty much the same, it's up to the student, because it's your degree at the end. Okay, so to which program have you been accepted finally, Claire?
Yeah, okay. So basically, I'm one of these students who didn't apply to a lot of programs because I really wanted to target specific programs in different locations. So in France, I didn't apply at all to any schools. Within the European Union, I applied to the University of Geneva, which I got accepted. I also applied to London Business School. I got the interview, but I declined because I chose another school. In the US, I applied to Yale School of Management and USC Marshall School of Business. So I got into USC Marshall, but I didn't get into Yale, unfortunately. But after a while, I think that it's better for me because the program was way too quant for me. So it's actually better like that. And in Asia, I applied to NUS and Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. And I got accepted to both. So actually, I'm pretty sure I only applied to these schools. So that's why, I didn't apply to many schools. I repeat that again. For you guys watching me, I would definitely recommend to apply to more schools. So the final decision actually was kind of tough for me to decide. It was either USC Marshall or Hong Kong. So just for you guys to know more about me, I'm French American. So I have family in France and also in New York and in California. And actually, for now, I think my decision will be more towards the Master's in Finance in Hong Kong, because in the future, I would like to perhaps do an MBA in real estate finance. And I feel that for now, I really want to discover and work in Asia. And Hong Kong is a major financial hub, as you guys may know. And I, of course, I check the schools, I check the rankings, and the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology is very well known. Its Master's in Finance is very well known as well. It's considered very prestigious. So for now, I would really want to work more in Asia and discover Asian countries like China. As I mentioned before, I stayed in Singapore for 5 months. I traveled to many countries such as Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia, for example. So I would really want to explore at the maximum, if I can say, Asian countries and work in an Asian environment, as I feel, these countries are really in advance compared to the rest of the world, and that can really teach us also how to do business and how to act in the future. So I would definitely want to pursue my MBA this time in the US, that's for sure. I would not apply anywhere else than in the US, because I would really want to reconnect with my US roots. And of course, I'm a bit sad for USC Marshall, but I feel the curriculum also I want to pursue, which is more investment management and asset management, is more the curriculum in Hong Kong rather than the one in California. So for me, I think choosing a school is, of course, you have to look at the rankings, you have to look at the country, but you also have to look at different aspects of the program. It's not just about the rankings and the reputation of the school. Actually, when I checked, I feel Hong Kong University of Science and Technology is more prestigious than USC Marshall, even though USC Marshall is a great school. But I feel for me now, considering what I want, meaning working in Asia and specializing in asset management, Hong Kong for me now is the best choice. However, if I want to do an MBA, I will not be, I will not, for example, if I'm accepted into USC Marshall MBA, I will not, for example, be, no, I'm not going to accept it because of, I don't know, reasons. So yeah, for me, it's important to look at different aspects of the schools you want to apply to, and not only the ranking. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, of course, at length. But of course, there was an issue that I told you, is that it's true that when you want to apply for top US business school, it's very important to have some type of experience in the US. Okay, so of course you're American, but you know the grading system is different, the type of class. So what I want to say is that the HBS admission directors, they perfectly know what you taught at USC Marshall, and they know what it is, and they have many friends, many students who have been accepted there. Of course, HKUST is not an unknown school, but of course, I want to say to you and to future students, if you want to go to America, it's better to study in America first, okay? But of course, your profile is stellar, okay?
Thank you.
Your profile is stellar, and I perfectly understand at the same time you have to say, look, this MBA is important, but it's not everything. I want to have my life the way I want. And anyway, as long as you can explain, you agree, and Claire, why you pick it up, it's good. So I would say that in terms of personal development, of course, it's much better, especially provided that you're American. Okay. Now, of course, in terms of strategy, of post-MBA strategy, of post-master and for an MBA strategy, it's always good to have a US degree.
Of course,
okay?
yeah,
Because,
I understand.
you know, yourself, you're American, and you know Americans, they don't really know very well what's going on outside the world. You know that. I will tell you a funny story. When I was in the US the first time, I wanted to call abroad. And I was asking everywhere, how do you manage to call abroad? What is the indicative to dial? So in France, I think it changed, but it was 00. At that time, it was something different, I believe. And I said, in Europe, it's 00. And they told me, we have no idea. So you understand? They did not even know. These people, even they were at Harvard, they were at MIT, and ever tried to call abroad. Imagine, Claire, what it was.
I understand,
They know what it is. Okay? So it gives you an idea. But of course, when they will see your profile, they will see she's American, she studied at ESSEC, she has been everywhere, it's a very, very strong profile. Okay? And basically, what it is, I perfectly understand NUS, LBS, whatever. Why the University of Geneva?
What did I write? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Why the University of Geneva?
Oh, okay. So actually,
you didn't go there, but yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Hubert explained as well that when we apply for schools, we need target schools and we need also safe schools. So for me, as I mentioned, I wanted to focus more investment management, and they had this program at the University of Geneva called Masters in Wealth Management, where basically they have specialized courses in asset management and wealth management. So for me, the University of Geneva was more a safe school, meaning, worst case scenario, I don't get anything. Well, I know that at least I have, this school where I could potentially go to. But of course, like my end goal at the end was not to go to the University of Geneva, but it was to go to either US or Asia. It's actually the only school I applied in Europe with LBS in London. But yeah, it was more of a safe school, and I was like, worst case scenario, it's like, what if I don't get any schools? Would I still go there? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but at least I have a school I can go into in September. Yeah.
Okay, and why? Out of pride, out of your ego, people they will have attended the LBS interview, and why you have refused to even go there, because it was good in your resume to say, by the way, that's a piece of advice that I give to people who apply. Mention all the schools that have been accepted, because I don't imagine that someone doesn't like HKUST, and he may say, oh, maybe she was not good enough to get, I don't know, HEC or LBS, and we see, no, I got USC, I got LBS. So basically, don't deny interviews. So why have you decided? You didn't say to yourself, it's always good that I put that in my resume, let me accept it to LBS, even if I refuse? No?
Yeah, okay.
You didn't...
No, I understand your point. It's just, I guess I applied to LBS because I feel a lot of people from ISEC, they apply to LBS and they actually get in. I feel LBS is one of these schools where, everybody from the BBA at ISEC, they just want to go into the school. They also apply to ESTP or Bocconi. So I guess I just went with the trend. And because I know LBS and especially the Masters in Financial Analysis is very prestigious. So I guess I just wanted to apply, but without actually thinking what I wanted. And like, when I applied to all these schools and then when I got the results, I was thinking, I was like, Claire, even if you get accepted, do you want to stay like 1 year, 2 years, or even more in London? No, I don't want to. Do you want to... I don't know, between going to London and going, for example, to California or Asia, like Singapore or Hong Kong, for me, the choice was already made. And like, since I got accepted to these awesome schools on the side, I just knew I didn't want to go to London, even though I know a lot of people from ISEC, they target LBS for the same degree. And that's great for them if they get accepted, but it was just not me. So again, as I mentioned before, I think when you apply for a school and for a program, even though everybody will say, oh, go for it, if you don't like, core aspects of the degree or the school or the location, I would say it's better to go for a school or degree where you're going to succeed and be happier. Me, I know I will not be happy in London. So for me, there was, and actually I don't want to work in the European Union or in the UK. I want to work either in Asia or in the USA. So for me, the choice was clear.
Okay.
That's why.
No, it's good. It's good to know. Huh? Anyway, you follow what you like. You follow your dream and passions, and it's not there. But and of course, the situation now in the UK is pretty dull, as you can see.
Yeah, indeed.
What do you expect from this time in Hong Kong at HKUST? And you plan? I will probably. I know. How long will you be there? 1 year or 2 years?
So actually, I chose the full-time program. So I will be for sure 9 months there. And the great thing about this program is that you can do an exchange for 4 months. So I do at London Business School, IE Business School in Madrid, or Aalto Business School in Finland. So yeah, I will. It's basically a 1 year program, and you can do a part-time internship as well for the second semester, and then do an exchange. So 1 year program.
Yeah, and IE it's a bit weak, as you know. Aalto in Finland it's a bit weak. So at least for the exchange program, go to LBS.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You agree? Go to LBS because it's a better program. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it for that. What do you expect from this 1 year at HKUST? Okay. And how will you use HKUST right after graduation and later on in life?
Yeah. So, of course, moving to a foreign country for a year, especially for your master's, is a big decision. But, I guess, talking with a lot of people who went there, a lot of, international people who lived in Hong Kong, who worked in Hong Kong, who studied in Hong Kong, I only got positive answers from everybody. So far, nobody really criticized Hong Kong. They tell me that, it's a melting pot. You have a lot of nationalities. You have a lot of things going on, a lot of international companies, especially a lot of French, banks and French companies being there. So definitely, what I want to gain from this master's degree is really understand, how Asians do business, even though, I got an introduction in Singapore. And I feel many people tell me that Hong Kong is a really augmented Singapore, meaning it's a better Singapore, bigger and more lively. So definitely explore as much.
You think so? Better than Singapore, Claire. You think so?
They told me that. I haven't been. I cannot have an opinion.
I can imagine it's bigger for sure. For sure, it's not difficult, but better on the other point. Yeah, why not?
I mean, it depends on your criteria, honestly. All the people I talked to, they prefer Hong Kong. They said it was less boring than Singapore. Even Singaporeans told me that. Singaporeans agree that Hong Kong is more lively. So I will go to both and tell you. So definitely, yeah, explore as much as I can Asian business, how they do business, how they think. Of course, travel a lot. That's also one of the goals. But for sure, gain a lot of insights thanks to the network, because Hong Kong University of Science and Technology is really a prestigious institution in Asia, but also worldwide. So definitely talk with the students, because they're high achieving students. And actually, the great thing when you study in Hong Kong, and that's why I also chose Hong Kong, is that they have special visas for people who study in Hong Kong. And they give you basically this young visa, it's called, where you can, I think for up to 1 year, you can stay in the country to basically find a job. And that's why I also chose Hong Kong, because Singapore, as a lot of people know, is not very friendly to foreigners, which I can understand because it's such a small country, so they need to provide jobs for their population. But the great thing about Hong Kong is that they really encourage foreign people, foreigners, to apply and work there. I mean, I know so many of my friends who, didn't even study in Hong Kong and they got a job there. So for people who are foreigners and who study in Hong Kong, it's even easier for them to get a job in Asia, especially in Hong Kong. So for me, I wanted to follow that path, to work a little bit in Asia and then maybe come back to the US. But yeah, definitely for the school, get good grades. The classes look really amazing. They look super interesting to me, as they have a lot of classes in asset management and some in ESG. So exactly what I wanted. Pursue internships as well. As in this program, you can do a part-time internship for the second semester and do evening classes. So you can earn money and experience, and also, follow classes, and then go on an international exchange. I mean, for me, this program, for what I wanted, was perfect. So I'm really excited to go there.
Yeah, it's very good. It's you choose for the right reason. I'm not, I visited both. I visited both Singapore and China, and of course, I find that for me, well, the advantage of Singapore is that it's more international.
Okay.
It's not, Hong Kong. It's a Chinese, and I feel better in places that are more international. So you see, there's a big city there, but I can understand that probably it's a better choice. And anyway, the happy days of Singapore are behind them now, probably.
I understand.
So what I want to say is that so tell me what it is to apply to HKUST. What it is, so that our students know, because I have no students applying to HKUST. Even my Indian students, they prefer NUS or NTU. Okay, as you know, we're strong in Europe, in Asia, in India, and now probably in Africa. But it's not our. So what would you say?
So how was the application process?
Yeah, what is the admission process? Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I feel it's like any other school or top school you have to apply to. So basically, you need to, submit, letters of recommendations, letters of, motivations. And actually, HKUST, is very strict on the letter of recommendations. They want like professors that are listed on the website. And I remember I had like an issue because I submitted 3 recommendations. I submitted 1 for my previous internship and 2 professors at ISEC. The issue is that the school contacted me because they didn't find the professors on the website. So I had to contact my school. So they had to provide basically a certificate for me, for the school, to prove that these teachers taught at ISEC. So I feel like the process is very rigorous, as they really want to check that like the people who are recommending you are legit people who are teaching at ISEC and who are teaching, a legit topic. Same thing for my letter of recommendation. I think they contacted my previous manager for my previous internship, as they really wanted to check that whatever he wrote in his letter was accurate and that he was not sugarcoating anything. So I would definitely say HKUST, among all the schools I've applied, is the toughest one, because then they will ask you for 3 rounds if you pass the first round. So the first round is just like submitting letters of recommendations, test scores, grades, etc. And they want everything certified by the school. They will ask you a letter to prove that you speak well English, letters to prove that the grading system as well, to see, what, ISEC considers as an A, as a B, as a C. So they really want to check everything to see that the student, I guess, is fit for their program. So after you pass the first round, that's, I feel, where many people are rejected. They will ask you like a presentation of yourself. So you have to record yourself and basically talk for like 5 to 10 minutes about yourself and why you want to get into this program. Then that's like the second round. And then the third round, if you're convincing enough, is presenting for 10 to 15 minutes a topic of your choice in finance. And there can be also an additional round if they want to interview you in person. So definitely that was the hardest, I guess, process of school preparation that I did. Even when I got into NUS, there was a personal interview. But they didn't ask me anything else. When I did the interview, then 1 week later they told me that I was admitted. And even for USC Marshall, I submitted my all the documents. Actually, at USC Marshall, you didn't even need any letter of recommendation. It was just like your test scores, your grades, and just like a small paragraph of motivation, and that was it. At HKUST and other schools, you have to write like a whole paper of motivation or more. And then after, I just had like a Kira interview, which is basically just like a AI talking to you and you have to respond to questions. So definitely HKUST was a bit more stressful because you have to prepare also your presentation of yourself and the investment topic or the finance topic you have to talk about. And if you're lucky enough, you didn't get any in-person interview. So I didn't get the in-person interview, but some people may have gotten the interview. Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. So it's a very good process. So what are your plans for the next 6 months, Claire?
Next 6 months, what am I doing? Well, actually, after my internship will end on June the 20th. And I applied for this summer exchange at Copenhagen University on energy economics because I'm really interested in discovering other topics than, pure finance. So I get accepted. I'm very happy about that. So I'll be studying 1 month in Copenhagen Business School, this intensive course on energy economics. Actually, it's supposed to be a course taken by exchange students, but for this format, it's like an intensive course of 1 month. And then after that, I'll be going on holidays to Sri Lanka for a bit. And then my master's is starting in August, so I will go to Hong Kong directly. And then, just, take my core classes and then, apply for internships.
So you're pretty active, huh?
Yeah,
As usual, you're pretty active. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to rest, then travel a bit, move to Hong Kong. So it's a good thing. Huh? But congratulations.
Thank you.
So if you could give like 3 pieces of advice to our MBA, can you imagine? So you were in this situation like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. You were in Alexandra's situation, and now you're the one contributing.
Indeed, actually, it's pretty funny when I think about it because I remember 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I really wanted to get into a master's degree. I was like already fed up with bachelor's degree. I was like, I want to like specialize in finance. I know what I want to do with my life. I want it right now, I was kind of impatient, to be honest, but definitely, the journey was worth it. And it feels good after, working hard to finally get where you want to be and like finally being able to see that you're reaching your goals and your dreams. So I'm really, proud of myself. So definitely, advice I would give to current, bachelor's students is, that one is like very easy. I mean, easy to say, but hard to do. Sorry. The first one would be, stay curious, because, wherever you guys are in your bachelor's degree, I think it's very important to try to learn from your professors, to speak to different people, to really have a different perspective than the one you have. I had the chance at ESSEC to meet so many people from different nationalities than mine being French and American. I was able to meet students from Korea, India, Latin America, China, Russia. So, so many people that, you don't meet every day in the street. And I think talking to them also is very helpful, because it will also, deconstruct maybe also all the things you thought you knew about these cultures or these people. So definitely learn from these people from different backgrounds, and from your professors who are really here to help you. I mean, at least at ESSEC, they really wanted us to succeed, and they wanted us, to follow our dreams. The second advice is join clubs, join associations, because honestly, at least in France, or even, wherever I applied, whenever I got interviews, they always asked me, especially at NUS, they always asked me, for example, what did I do in terms of associative work? What extracurricular activities did I do? Because of course, if you went to a top school and you studied business, they know that you're already a top student. They know that you got that you have good grades in high school. You're a top performer. So they want to know, what are your interests beyond finance, beyond accounting? What do you do when you finish your classes, when you finish your homework? So for me, I have the chance to have a lot of energy. So I did many things, but I remember, for example, during my interview at NUS, we spent a good 10 minutes talking about Enactus ESSEC, because I was the president. I don't even remember which year, 2022, I think. And the director of admissions really asked me a lot of questions about why I was the president, what did I do, etc., etc. So definitely join clubs and associations. And maybe the third advice that I have is don't take your studies lightly. I was one of these students who didn't really go to parties. I was not really a party girl. I was not really this cool girl, going out to drink every night. I took my studies seriously. That's why I was able to do a lot of things. And I would say definitely have fun, enjoy your college life. But remember that after, you're going to compete with thousands of people there who want the same job as you want, who want the same masters that you want. So remember, you will have thousands of people who will go to top schools, ESSEC, ESCP, Bocconi, and all these top schools in the UK. So you need to really differentiate yourself and ask yourself, okay, where do I see myself in 5-10 years? What are my passions? What do I want to do for the future? And then after that, think of ways you can improve your skills and improve your CV. That would be my advice.
Okay. Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good thing. So now that we have other opportunities to talk to you and to share your experience. Maybe in 1 year, you tell us what it is, because of course, we like to explore new programs. And as you know, already having NTU and US was something pretty new, okay, for us. But we're happy now that we can also explore HKUST. There's another one that I like a lot in China. It's called CIBS, China Europe International Business School.
Oh yeah. I know it.
But we have nobody applying there. We have one Fudan, because you have the GMIM between the FBS.
Yeah.
There was Theo was your senior who went there. He's there now. By the way, I would like to have him for my webinar. So it was very nice. And imagine I followed you for 4 years. So from a teenager to almost a woman now. So to a young professional.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was
thank
very
you
nice.
so much for your help.
I will send a summary on my LinkedIn about this thing. And of course, I like to say things like you didn't attend LBS. This type of thing that people like. This type of story that people like to read. Voilà. Okay.
Okay. Voilà. Sure. Thank you so much.
I wish you a great day, and thank you very much, Claire, for accepting our invitation.
Of course, my pleasure. Have a nice day.
Bye.